guys, and welcome back to another vlog called, what I call it, Potato Land. So thanks for tuning in, and I say vlog because it ought to be the new name. I'm not trying to get into the podcast race or the YouTube show race. If I'm being as down to earth as possible, this only qualifies as a vlog anyway. So happy to have you here. And I heard somebody say this on one of my podcasts I do tune in to, and we're trying to listen to less and less of those. Okay, so only if this vlog is of quality or quality enough for you, potential viewer / listener, possibly, then may you keep tuning in. But I'm going to start calling it what it is, which is a vlog, video log. Just have to, log that into my brain as well. And so be it. Maybe one day it gets formatted into the audio libraries and therefore is referred to as a podcast, but maybe not. We're just doing this in the moment, and your advice to me is live every day in the moment. Forced that laugh a little bit though, didn't I? For a guy who's just sitting in his room all by himself, speaking loudly, that was a little forced, I admit. I promised last week that I would keep this one short because, well, last week, I still seem to be doing this thing where I'm playing with the going off course in a conversation and trying to find my way back. That seems to be a skill I'm still playing around with, whether I'm successful all the time or not. And I figure listen back to these things or editing them, or more like listening back to them with hindsight, 6 or 7 days worth of hindsight, it sounds way too annoying. And while I do seem to apologize for it eventually, in the moment, but eventually, I'm getting tired of it. So where were we here? I was just welcoming you. How are you doing? And I hope you're doing well. And I'm doing as good as you, if not worse. That'd be the best way to put it. Found a way to say it every week now. But I try and keep it interesting. Apologize for any extra sounds you might hear in the background. Those seem to be consistent through every episode, but we'll get rid of them one day. Hopefully. Upgrade the quality of the place. Hopefully. Let's see. A bit sober, even though I tried to down the rest of the alcohol I had. I've seemed to have come down from that since I just got off of listening back to last week's episode. But yeah, so hope you're doing well. And I like to start off every conversation with maybe, if not what's in the news, because leading up to right now, I still haven't thought of anything. Maybe a little something, but not necessarily something worth mentioning. What's new, though? I can't really ask you. And maybe since this is going to be a short podcast, maybe we just run through our segments this week and then get out of here. I'd like to be a shining example of someone who knows how to shut the up, because you know, how long should one guy really talk for each week? To his audience, or to audience which I lack, by the way, or to even people he knows, right? I don't know, that's for you to tell me. But for the moment being, I honestly do think, let's just say 20 minutes would be enough. If not, arguably too much. Okay. Oh, I remember what I wanted to say off the bat here. It would be great for me, since I don't have an audience or any regular viewers at the time being. It would be great. It would be smart. How stupid have I been? 20 or so episodes, and I've only just come to the realization these are my marketing skills at on the hot seat here, that I should be using all my great or hottest or freshest material right off the bat. That would be ideal. And then if you wanted to, you could keep listening, or rather keep doing what you're doing and not go through the, let's say, use up the calories, as small as they may be, to stop the show and look for something else, browse elsewhere. So I don't know, and I just told you I don't have anything that's really in the news this week, except for restaurants are letting people dine in as long as you're 6 feet away. So now we have dining in here in California, or at least the LA County. That's how little I'm paying attention. We had another shooter that was such a dark topic right off the bat. But since we talked about it last week, I feel like I have to mention it again. I know it happens so often. I'm eventually going to have to stop talking about it. But listen, I would love to see you before you go about the process of thinking how fun it would be to take bigger than a squirrel's, or how about smarter than a deer's life. I would love for you, I mean, we could see each other, that would be fine, but I'd love for anybody to tune in. I'd like to have a wider audience, because I think you could use me as an example of somebody who, not necessarily by choice, is on his own island. Hence the name of this thing, Potato Land, right? It comes from my backstory, but whether I like it or not, I stand alone, not necessarily forever, but just in the moment. Here I am vlogging. How about this? Don't check out my show, but do start your own vlog. It's like talking to a therapist, except you're talking to yourself, but then you get to see how much of an idiot you sound like. Yeah. If there's one thing I'm number one in the world at, and I talked about this a couple weeks ago, but I'm glad I wrote it down for this week, and here I am just remembering it. You're not seeing me look at my notes when I look down. Even though my notes are down there, I'm not, this week, I'm not looking down and reading, as you can see, right? Unless I'm the fastest reader or my notes are 1 word long or something. However, I wanted to discuss that I did find something that I might be number one at in the whole entire world of 7 billion people. And I just realized I definitely am not number one at this. Because there's people on YouTube, for example, that are trying to convince you to do your own podcast. I watched one video, which I've already, what is the word? I've already discussed here earlier, a long time ago. I've at least watched one video. By that I mean I've only watched one video on where to set your camera. whether that be good advice or not, but there are a lot of people that are doing what I thought I was number one at in the world, and that is convincing you to do a podcast. So I don't know any motivational speakers. I don't know any. There's a guy that comes to mind, but I'll never get his name. I don't know. I don't remember. Anyway, so I thought I was number one at something. Maybe I'm not. Maybe I could still fall back on getting enough sleep for a guy who left a very awkward, uber religious organization. But that's debatable, because I don't know everybody that left, right? And they're certainly not out there bragging about things like that. So I stand alone on something, but we've yet to figure it out. Sheesh, I still feel like I should welcome you because we haven't talked about anything. But maybe we have, maybe we haven't. I just hope you're doing well. That's what I kind of mean by that. And what's new? You could see my haircut if you're watching, right? You could see my haircut. That happened. I love that I got a new buzzer and I have an extra length. And that's all I'll say about that. But this is the maximum length I could do. And so I've learned to not look so fisheye with this wide angle lens. Gonna have to probably play around with those settings this week. But maybe not. I like just not spending. I like just throwing it up. No, as little editing as possible. Hey, by the way, editing, and if you want to learn how to roll your R's and learning Spanish, go together. Just found that out just now here. Did a little bit of talking about Spanish last episode, and you guys saw how bad I am? Well, that's how bad I am. I've since read the billboard again, the one about mental health, that is, and since we're kind of on the same topic here, at least it's similar. La salud mental es importante. I think that's what the billboard said. I still forget. Not sure if that's it anyway. But yeah, so I got the cut of the hairs. Did do something this week. Well, dropped a lot of money. And why? If you're not working, you go down this terrible, possibly useless spending. You tend to want to go down spending, dark, dwindling spiral of feeling like you deserve something anyway. And I overeat to some extent. I think my podcast or this vlog can be proof of that. I got to remember to keep my chin down. But I did made a huge purchase, something like $600 worth. That's a lot of money. I know here in America we are the number one, or 1% is what I meant to say, in terms of income compared to the rest of the world. And here I am complaining about making a purchase of that magnitude, which is a lot of money, and I understand that, I do. But if I could tell you what I'm complaining about, maybe there would be more understanding. Do I really need to be spending that kind of money on an electronic drum set? That's all I'm going to say. It's not entertaining to you. It certainly shouldn't be, especially for a guy who's just starting out on his own vlog. But there I go, that I did. If you are as nerdy as me, it is a Roland, and the brand is something like, gosh, do I even remember? Something like, I don't remember. The number 1. Roland 1 series. It has a 1 in it. I don't remember. I could look off over there and I could get it, but I don't care. Let's go to the notes and see. Oh my gosh, it looks like I already covered everything. This is insane. Okay, well, look at that. About 15 minutes in now, right? Let's quit. Let's end here. I think it's not a bad idea since I did so much hee hee ha ha last episode, which is starting to wear me down, beginning to annoy myself. And it'd be a nice time to prove that I could just barrel in, say hi, and then sprint off. I don't need the attention. I don't need to over stare at myself or hear my own voice later on. So yeah, let's end it here. I hope you guys are doing well. And yeah, I mean, we got problems in America and stuff. And you can certainly argue that well, maybe there are problems elsewhere as well on a different level. I'm not aware of how much. Anyway, I don't, as for a guy who likes to entertain, I don't like to bring problems to people unless, you know, there's a good way to run around it or poke at it or make fun of it. So I don't know how much I really plan on talking about bigger issues like this, but maybe it is. If you ask me deep down, it's a huge part of me, and I certainly have empathy for the general public, as we all do, and to some extent I would like to explore it, but the reality is the thoughts that go on in my head are probably the thoughts that go on in every American's brain, and this isn't a podcast about being an American, even though that is my next lowest common denominator. I realize as I'm talking here, but I would like to just talk about lighter topics, and that doesn't necessarily mean gossip either. So we'll find a happy medium, and I'll think about it later. But for now, you get this little bit, this bite of entertainment, and hopefully next week, hopefully I can figure it out more. You know, I've been working on other things besides work, and that's about all I have for updates. Hello, Braden Young, or as my old friends used to call me, Brado Potato, which I've already mentioned before. How vulnerable do I even need to be? Okay, all right, well, it's been fun. Even though it's been short, it's been okay. I was just realizing that it hasn't been that fun, but may we go our own way, and you enjoy yourself, and hopefully I am getting another viewer on this one. But otherwise, you enjoy yourself, Braden, and the other parts of me will enjoy myself as well. Difficult to say goodbye on this one, but here we are. Stay safe. There's a common thread through this podcast because I told you I didn't work much. So stay safe, stay healthy, stay sharp, stay ugly, stay cool. Goodbye.